The budget is key, is a key government planning tool and provides insight into the fiscal plans and priorities of the state. It shows the nations where the nation will focus its investments. And it shows a mechanism for public finance accountability as well. The 2021 budget, maintained an increasing trend from 6 trillion in 2016 to 7 trillion in 2017, and then, to 9 trillion in 2018. It came down again to 8.9 trillion in 2019 and 10.8 trillion in 2020. Despite these increases, the country has one of the highest poverty level indices in sub-Saharan Africa. And with a Human Development Index that is slightly above the average of the sub-region, an indication that a certain level of disconnect, needs to be addressed, that needs to address the aspirations of the people, need attention to be paid to. The appropriation bill proposed a total, expenditure of 13 trillion. That is 65.89% than the projected revenue, of the other 7 trillion, thus creating a deficit of 5.1 trillion. And in November 2022, the federal government appropriation, or 2021, the government appropriation for the midterm National Development Plan, with an estimated, investment of 3,448.7 trillion, the focus of the midterm National Development Strategy from 2021 to 2025 is to include elimination of poverty and enhancing job creation aimed at lifting millions of Nigerians out of poverty and ensuring economic stability, development, and good governance. To actualize these goals of the plan, Actionaid believes that investment in the critical sector will critically, drive the development plan. If we have a plan, we need to energize it, and we want to be able to see that plan from the pronouncements of the budget. It is important, therefore, to ensure that the MTEF, aligns succinctly with the resourcing, of that particular plan and its objectives. Without resourcing any plan, the plan stands at plans. And we know Nigeria for having a lot of plans and not taking it to implementation because of shortages or lack of, timely budget releases and also implementation of those plans. This round table is a continuation of the conversation expected to enable us to collectively, as both state and non-state actors, build consensus on key actions towards achieving a sustainable.
In the MTEF, we will set out the benchmark price, the amount of barrels of oil per day we are supposed to produce or we will be able to produce. Usually, we normally hope to produce up to 2 million barrels per day, everything being equal. We look at other things, the exchange rate, how much will the Naira be exchanging for the dollar, and so on, including the interest rate. So this, and also we look at the debt situation, the contingent debt situation of the federal government, how much are we going to lose in servicing existing debt, and because our revenue challenge is well known, we always, for the past couple of years now, we have always had a deficit budget. In other words, we normally budget for more than what we hope to or expect to get as revenue for every year. So that element of deficit, how much would it be? What would the government be focusing on in terms of infrastructure development and other needs of the nation? All these come together and are set out in the MTEF. The budget, the borrowing plan is also debated in the National Assembly and approved before the government now comes in with the appropriation bill. So even when, as we hope, before the end of the year, we expect or hope that the president will sign off and sign the 2022 budget appropriation act into law. But we must also remember that law the budget will not.
The little revenue we generate should be able to speak to the key, key sectors that I mentioned at the state level. You heard what was said here. Also, the state borrowing without records to the DMO office, which is also not acceptable, given the Fiscal Responsibility Act. It's a violation of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. So overall, we are interested in the state budget. We're also interested in the local government budget. We're also interested at the national level. But overall, is looking at how effective, how realistic, and how that budget speaks to the needs of the people. And you talk about implementation. A major fault, is equating expenditure, the quantity of money spent to budget performance. That is totally wrong. Budget performance should be, equated to the value created, the value being created, and the things, that the budget, were produced over the year. In that case, that the efficient units that is supposed to be at the Ministry of Finance should be able to, look beyond the quantity of money spent, but on the products.